Another example of logical consciousness has to do with drug addicts who provide their body and their brain with a substance and their organs inside of their anatomy with chemicals and toxicity, causing their intelligence and their awareness and their attention to be less focused and concentrated and more worried about stimulation and then later a reward. Logically following processes in a system they accept as better, less racist than economics and microeconomics and macroeconomics. In other words, going to work and having a career. Living similar to a tribal, native, nomad barbarian, eating what they can, sleeping when they feel the need, and making decisions when they're important for their system to have what's needed for their processes to be successful. Logical consciousness continues on and on and on until death. Humans who live in the wilderness and hunt to survive and build their homes from wooden logs they got from trees have a similar kind of logical consciousness, completing tasks necessary to not die. And worst of all, and most troublesome, they don't complain, they don't get bored, they don't run to civilization and escape their life. In interviews, they talk about what they do each day, what they eat each night, the seasons and what they need to do to prepare for those cold winter months. Babies born where there's no doctors and hospitals and families with activities other than a beach and a chair, an amusement park and a ride. And within those three examples, there's a common part to their processes, but very different systems. And lastly, logical consciousness mostly has to do with a different part of consciousness. a different description, but an overall process in the body working to achieve a goal of energy. But when goals of consciousness and logic are together emphasized more than the benefits of freedom and consciousness, then there's confusion. And when there's confusion, there's a disruption with consciousness. Logic works well for those rich and famous and powerful and elite. In their professions and careers, they will always have a job, mostly to work, with good income. But when those who are not as brilliant and intelligent and genius lack those prestigious degrees and million-dollar bank accounts, then logic eventually stops. From fatigue. For however small amount of time, the logical consciousness stops. Hypothetically, there's a disruption. And then there's a drug dealer, there's a dominant man and an elder woman to fix a problem caused by a lack of choices for decision making to solve and choose. So that logic and consciousness overall continue to inspire and motivate, energize, and concentrate and focus awareness and attention to have safety and security, beauty, and gentleness. Now,